Hello and welcome to episode 255 of Ask MandRproductions. On this week's episode, we're talking about LEGO Ahsoka, LEGO Clone Wars, and the craziest moment in LEGO Star Wars history. I also just have to flex my new LEGO Star Wars banner. Shout out to H2 Brick for selling me that one. If you have a question for next week's episode, leave it down in the comments below. It'll be the last episode before I move, so if you have questions about this room, I guess it's a good time. But our first question this week comes from Tyler, and he says, do you count the UCS Sandcrawler as a true UCS set since it doesn't come with a plaque? So if you think about it logically, you're on the right trail. It probably isn't UCS, but I do consider it UCS. They did call it UCS when it came out. I do wish it had the plaque, though. The plaque is what's missing to like not have it be a questionable thing, because if you really think about it, it is really akin to a set like the Tantive, where the Tantive was $200 or whatever, and it had minifigs, and it's a nice big display set. You know, it wasn't like a normal play set that was released in stores. It was a D2C set, so like it was a LEGO store exclusive thing, just like the Sandcrawler. They just didn't call it UCS like the Sandcrawler, even though they're both just big, expensive play sets. Without a display plaque, you do miss that like discerning feature of what makes it kind of a UCS. But in the same way that I kind of have mentally retconned sets like the Death Star to be Master Builder Series and the UCS Hoth to be Master Builder Series, I think I would stick with the Sandcrawler being a UCS set, although I definitely understand the argument for it technically not being that. Rodolfo says, do you think with the Mandalorian and Ahsoka show revisiting concept from Rebels, LEGO could make new sets from Rebels? Absolutely. I think the Ghost is obviously on the top of everyone's minds for things, but it's not necessarily because they're revisiting concepts. I guess it's just like if the Ghost is in the Ahsoka show, they're going to make the Ghost from the Ahsoka show, not necessarily make the Ghost from the Rebels show. So like you'll have a thing that was technically in Rebels, but it will still be the Ahsoka version of that thing. I guess kind of like what we're going to see with the TIE Interceptor. We haven't had a true TIE Interceptor from episode 6 since 2006. And it seems like with the Mandalorian season 3, we're going to be getting a TIE Interceptor there in a LEGO form, but it won't technically be an episode 6 TIE Interceptor like people had been wanting for years and years. Not necessarily that there's a difference now like between them. It doesn't really matter, but it will technically be a Mandalorian season 3 TIE Interceptor. And I would expect the same thing for anything akin to this with Star Wars Rebels that they might be getting with Ahsoka and Mandalorian Season 3. Honestly, though, I see the Ghost as the one true thing that we would see out of that. Thrawn being a figure, I guess, technically also from Rebels that would be finally brought back into the fray here. But, like, there's not a whole lot, I think, like, as far as ships go from Rebels that would be brought into this. Buckethead Film says, do you think they'll ever come out with another set including Count Dooku? I've been hoping for one with the anniversary. I'm not counting on one coming, but I wanted to hear what you thought about it. So the rumors should be popping out any day now for summer of 2023, but there's only a couple of sets that could even possibly have it at this point from what I'm aware of. So I wouldn't get your hopes up. I don't think there's a Count Dooku coming this year. I think if you want one, you should just spend the money on one on the secondary market. It's like, it might be $30, $40, $50, which is a little expensive for a figure, but in the scale of LEGO Star Wars figures, that's kind of like mid-tier expensive. So if you can afford it and you like the look of the older figures, I'd go with that. If not, you definitely are going to be playing the waiting game possibly for years to come. Pia Stoic says, how likely are we to get a Captain Rex's Y-Wing and what time would it be? Look, I've thought Captain Rex's Y-Wing would happen every year for like 4 years now. I think 2020 is when they did Clone Wars Season 7, and a lot of people were excited that year that, hey, maybe in the summer or the fall we could get Captain Rex's Y-Wing. 2021 comes along, doesn't happen. 2022 comes along, doesn't happen. And now we're in 2023, and like I said with the last question, the 2023 summer rumors are coming soon, and as far as I can tell, I don't see where Rex's Y-Wing fits in once again. And I don't really know how we've gotten stiffed on this 4 years in a row. It's probably like a top 5 demand in the fan community of LEGO Star Wars sets right now, and has been for 4 years. And it's also just a sensible thing for them to make because people want the Captain Rex figure anyway, and they know that. And so I don't really understand why they haven't made his ship, and it's been 4 years. And it showed up in new media even. They made the Justifier for Cad Bane, but not Captain Rex's Y-Wing. Like, you make that make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Nathan says, what do you think of the special molded weapons for each character in the new Lord of the Rings set versus the Darksaber for Star Wars? I didn't look too in detail at these Lord of the Rings weapons. Let's take a look. So from what I can tell, there's a new axe and a new sword in this set. I can't really tell if there's more new stuff because I'm not an expert on new molds, but Yeah, it definitely does paint LEGO Star Wars in a bad light comparatively. The Darksaber was already horrid compared to what they certainly could have done for it. The custom one that I had been selling on MandRshop.com for a while was amazing, and I love it in every way. And like, I don't know why LEGO couldn't themselves produce something akin to that, because it's so amazing, right? Like, why, you know, versus like the lightsaber with the black blade, like, it's kind of lame. It just is lame. Look, I think they are going to make a new Darksaber mold. They claimed when Mando's N1 Starfighter came out that they didn't have enough time to make a new mold for the Darksaber. That implies that it's coming down the line, and so with 3 Mando Season 3 sets, I think, coming in 2023, like, it should fit in there. Mr. Green Melon says, what Clone Wars sets do you think will be coming out later this year? Look, I'm not at liberty to go into all the rumors yet, and I don't know for sure because there's still some blank spots on the list, but there's a non-zero chance that that's all she wrote already, and it's not even March. Francis Crane says, what do you think the craziest event / moment / announcement in LEGO Star Wars history is? Look, there's one thing that'll always come to mind, and that's the announcement of the 501st Battle Pack. I just will never forget the day. My reaction to that was insane, and, you know, just a great time all around, right? So I always look back to that pretty fondly. I don't know if you guys have anything else that you can think matches the craziness, but for the community, I think that that was the thing that happened that was just, like, blew everyone's mind, and it was an insane day. I can't think of anything that even compares to that. Like, it's always exciting when big new UCS sets get revealed, like the UCS Falcon, UCS AT-AT, UCS Star Destroyer. Like, that's always exciting. People love seeing that sort of stuff, but for the way the community reacted specifically with the Battle Pack, I don't think anything tops that. Kopika 2001 says, what does LEGO not understand or misunderstand about their fans? And I don't think I can word this the most elegant way, but the best way I can say it is, their fans don't exist to hate them. They exist to love them. I think I speak for myself and pretty much everyone else watching this video. You're watching this video because you really, really like this thing. And you really, really want this thing to be really, really good, and you have your own different ways of thinking about that and what defines good and what is acceptable and all of these things, right? Obviously, I'm going to slam my answer to LEGO Star Wars, but this does apply to, like, DC, Marvel, Minecraft, City, you know, all the themes, Ninjago, everyone under the sun for LEGO fans. They don't exist to actively dislike them. I want to love everything LEGO does, and because of that, I don't love everything that LEGO does. There's a lot of things that I don't like, and I think we all react in different ways because we have our different ideas of what's good, what's fine. A lot of people use that word when it comes to LEGO Star Wars, especially, it's fine. Or my favorite on like the LEGO Star Wars Reddit generally is the idea that they don't care means it doesn't matter. Like, it's like they don't really understand that. Like I said, not the most elegant way of wording everything, but this is kind of where I wanted to go with this. The Captain Rex helmet, right? The mouth on this thing is too small. It is smaller than what would be deemed reasonably accurate than I think pretty much anyone, right? Like, it's clearly too small. And that is fine, as many people would say. I think it looks really good. I'm a big fan of this set. I had feelings, honestly, I had feelings building these two sets that I haven't had since 2020 with LEGO Star Wars. I felt like really at peace building these. I don't know how else to explain it, but it felt really good to build these. I don't know why. I don't know who I need to thank for that. I don't know if it's the designers that did like a cool set. I don't know if it's just the vibe I had with the weather. I have no idea. But anyway, I figured out how to reach out to him and ask him specifically about the mouth, because it's the clear and obvious, like, flaw with this model. And the thing is, like, I'm gonna point it out in my review, no matter what. Like, it is clearly a flaw. You can like it, you can dislike it, but it is clearly not accurate to the source material. He also designed some of my favorite LEGO Star Wars sets ever. We got the Tantive 4 here, which just so happens to be signed by him and Jens. I didn't get it signed myself. It was my buddy Lego Buff. He designed the Mos Eisley Cantina and the UCS Razor Crest, like some of my all-time favorite sets. And like I said, he did this one. So I reached out and I'm like, why is the mouth wrong? And he gave back a really good answer that was kind of like, you know, expected. Like, it just didn't work, basically. And so I ended up putting that in my review. And the response I got from that was like really, really good. Heinz Beans commented on my review and said, I really like how there's a quote to explain certain compromises on sets, makes it easier to look past when there's a reasonable explanation. And so did Viper Sun. He's like, I love it when the designers give explanation to inaccuracies in the build. But I think this is a great example of having the two sides come together and there being an understanding. And it's like, this is exactly what it should have been like all along. This is the one shining example I'll ever probably have of like how things should have been with LEGO Star Wars and its community. Like, the LEGO Ambassador program is the entire problem with this. They are the wall between LEGO and their community because they have just ruined a lot of stuff there. And there was such a potential for things like this to be much more commonplace with LEGO Star Wars and its community. And like having a quote like this for a review like mine, where I'm gonna go hard on it, but then it's very understandable for people. And like, I still like the set. I gave it a 9 out of 10 in my review. People really responded to that. And I think that when you look at it like that, you can tell people still like it. They still want to like it. They can still look at something and be like, yeah, it's not what I want necessarily. It's got this problem. But like, I like that I know that they know it's a problem and that they tried their best. Not that they put out something like the 212 helmet where they clearly didn't. You know, like it's a completely different vibe with something like this versus stuff in the past. So I don't know how I can continue something like this. This to me was more of like a one-off thing to be able to get a quote from a designer before making a review. I don't expect to get this type of stuff very often, but having the two sides have an understanding was very nice for once. Tabletop Studio says, do you think you will ever give YouTube Shorts a whirl? I can't believe you got so far without posting a single short. Well, thank you, Tabletop Studios. And I probably will eventually give YouTube Shorts a whirl. Everyone and their mother is doing it. It seems like the route to go to kind of supplement your channel. I would never replace my main videos with YouTube Shorts. One, it doesn't pay anywhere near the same, of course, and I got to keep the lights on. But more so for me, it's like having the time to do it and having an editor to handle it, because I can't edit vertical video very well and have it look good and make sense. And I would love to do some type of short form content with some like different minifigure things or small things that I wouldn't make a long form video on, but still want to talk about with LEGO Star Wars specifically, or I guess LEGO in general. Or like when a new LEGO set gets revealed, like Rivendell, I don't want to make a 10-minute video talking about it because I don't have that much to say about it. I love it. I think it looks great and I'll do a review on it. But like as far as pictures go, I just can't sit there and talk about it for too long. I'd do a YouTube short on that, you know, and I'd have my editor help whip it up and do the words on the screen and all that stuff. So when the studio's in place and the editor's hired and all this stuff happens that I intend on getting done in the next couple months, like that sort of thing I think is going to be a thing. I will be honest, I'm kind of upset how many videos in my subscription feed are shorts. That's the downside, I guess, is that it's kind of ruined that for me. I hate looking at my subscriptions feed on YouTube and just seeing half of them be YouTube shorts. It's rather annoying, but that's the world we live in. I will say there was a time when I was scared that TikTok/YouTube shorts would take over long form content. I no longer have those same fears, but 2 or 3 years ago when it was just becoming a big thing, I was rather worried. I thought short form content was going to completely destroy all long form content. And that was very dumb of me. Like obviously there's a lot of benefits to long form content. I still find myself watching tons of it, like, and I prefer it, of course, but I think it would be a bad choice of mine to not dip my toes in short form content. But I by no means ever want that to be my main thing because it's not what I've been doing for the last 13, 14 years and enjoying for the last 13, 14 years. Chicken Nugget 3 says, is there any LEGO sets you've always wanted but never got? The 2010-ish LEGO Space Shuttle with the fuel tank. I always wanted that one, never bought it. But like, man, like when the new NASA Space Shuttle came out last year or 2 years ago, I think, I was like, had to buy it immediately. But it still hasn't filled that void in my heart. I still want the one that sits vertically and has the fuel thing on the back. That's the classic look of the Space Shuttle to me. As good as the newer model is, I might sell it just to buy the other one because I love the other one. I remember seeing it back maybe like summer 2014, 15. It had to be when I was doing plumbing with my grandpa and making some cash over the summer. Like we went into someone's house and they had that Space Shuttle set alongside some other sets. And this was a time, of course, when it was a little bit different to see like an adult have LEGO sets on display. But they had that set and I was like, man, I want that. I wish I had that. And like for years and years, it's been one of those sets that I've lusted after, but just never shelled out the money to get. But I think that day will come soon enough. Mr. Taco says, with Kevin Durant on the Suns, do you think they will win their first championship? Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to do that because the Boston Celtics are going to win like every NBA championship for the next 5 years. So I think by then Kevin Durant will be retiring, Chris Paul will have retired, and Devin Booker will be on a new team. So unfortunately, I don't think the Suns have much of a chance. Rylan Tech and Crypto, jeez, your name. Rylan Tech and Crypto says it will be perfect for the coffee table in the living room. How many sets have you said that for? You only have so much space on a coffee table. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do the Millennium Falcon in the coffee table type of thing. I don't think I will put any LEGO sets on or in a coffee table at the end of the day. A part of me is thinking I won't put any sets in my living space at all. Like my living room, my kitchen, and my bedroom will be completely LEGO free. Possibly. I'm not 100% sure. Like in my mind, I also wanted to do like the TV and then UCS Falcon on both sides of the TV. That would be pretty dang sick. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but part of me wants no Lego. Part of me wants to kind of embrace it with a touch of Lego. But honestly, for the coffee table thing specifically, there probably won't be a Lego coffee table. If you aren't already following me on Whatnot, by the way, this video isn't sponsored by them specifically, but I'll put my affiliate link for you to sign up down below. When you sign up through that link, you'll get a $15 credit, and follow me on there because this Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, I am doing my moving sale. I have a lot of stuff to sell, so if you want to buy stuff from my personal collection and just stuff I've been accumulating for the past 5 years at this house, make sure you're at that live stream on Friday. I'm also giving away like $500+ of Lego Star Wars sets, so you might want to win some of that too. So see you there, and thanks for watching. Second to last episode in this room, out.